You don't really want the attention, the comments dimension. Staying's all consistent, standing by the speakers, taking pictures. She came for the liquor, didn't come for no nigga. Corey tap my shoulder, let my nigga go get her. I know you gon' wing, man, she got phone with her. Plus I just heard she got rid of her old nigga. Tequila to sunrise, where's the bartender? How this nigga Corey disappear with her sister like good God Almighty? You the life of the party, I see you in your own world. Slow winding your body, your friends screaming out, go girl.
We don't communicate. Don't even hit me up.
Oh boy, welcome back. Frat House Media, you already know. And look, I don't know if you see, the table is stacked today. But guess what? It is definitely help needed for a brother such as myself. Needed by my boy Tico, who's another Frat House Media artist. Whatever you want to call him, owner, you know? He's been putting in 110% work, so I would definitely love to introduce him as well. But we got a surprise guest. It is no longer a surprise. We got Mr. Immanuel Aleem. I would say the hometown hero. That's what I like to call him, the hometown hero, because I have been watching. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too many actual successful boxers out here. So I want to be able to dive heads first into the world of sports, just from an eye level to understand a little bit, you know, for all the aspiring boxers out there in the community, as well as people who are just finding hope in the boxing society and putting eyes on the light of the boxing society that 804 even actually touches. You know, so thank you so much, my brother, for coming on by. I do want to start off with a couple of questions. I like to steamroll into things. I think for me, number one, how long have you been boxing? And when I say, I mean sparring, going to that gym.
Shoot, I would say about 18 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah, vet, for real, vet in the game.
Yes, I was 12.
Okay, all right. How did that come about? You know, you mind giving me a little backstory to the journey that, you know, had you walk into the life of boxing?
My brother wanted to start boxing. He asked my dad about, you know, finding a boxing gym and everything around 12. When he was 13, I was 12. And we was playing fight night around the area, like a lot at that time. And, you know, Highland Park fighting a lot growing up. We was either boofing each other, you know what I'm saying? We was either
for all who don't know what a boof is, that quick slam, boop, boop.
Yeah, that's when you didn't like anybody, you seen somebody, you had a problem, you fought it out. Y'all played basketball, y'all fought, somebody bumped you fought. You just didn't like somebody.
You new to the neighborhood, welcome to the neighborhood. Squabbled up. Real talk.
So I guess at that time, then he just said he wanted to box, and then I went in there to the gym and I seen it. I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. So yeah.
I could dig it. Okay, so who are the major influences who played a piece within your boxing career? In the early round, let's start there.
As far as fighters?
Yes.
Joe Frazier's number one. He was my favorite. I just feel like that meanness and toughness and me being short. I wasn't the tallest at the time. I was shorter than everybody. I wasn't like no midget, but I had to always get underneath everybody at them times. So Joe Frazier, I loved the way he just had his power with his anger. Being short, he was rocking everybody, and I just felt like he basically knew the energy I was trying to punch. I was like, oh yeah, I like that.
Smoking Joe. I definitely got a huge love for that. Roy Jones, Mr. Winder Up, wind back, make you come over. Clean you up, man. I love Roy Jones. Roy Jones brought, I would like to say, a lot of culture to the new age world of boxing. You come out and see that man with a boosie fade for real, something to that degree, and then you know he's flashy, showboaty or whatever, but he was getting the job done. I remember watching. Watching him clean up a couple of guys, so he's a heavy influence for me when it comes down to he's actually who got my attention. Like, oh nah. Oh, boxing nice. Boxing like that.
He brought like to me the everything like the sport has got now. He was already doing that in the 90s.
Right.
And seeing the flashiness, coming out rapping, having his hand down, dancing, doing what he wanted to do. It's like, yeah, Roy Jones did it all. I'm like, yeah, I want to be that. You know what I'm saying? Him, Ali. So it was Frazier, Roy Jones. Well, Frazier, Ali, Roy Jones, and then even as Roy Jones, I have to say Tyson and Floyd. Yeah. Mike Tyson definitely played a big piece. You know what I'm saying? Iron Mike, especially like with Joe Frazier, me having that anger and being shorter. Mike Tyson, me and him the same height, but
Right.
as heavyweight, he was crushing people. So for him
Man.
to be 5'10" and be able to crush people at his height, I was like, yeah, I'm doing that too.
Right.
He was over crushing people for real, bro.
Right.
God.
Right.
So and then Floyd Mayweather definitely who revolutionized the world. I stopped being called Floyd probably like my 13 or 14. I'd say 13. When I started boxing, they called me Floyd. I didn't know who Floyd was.
Right.
At that time.
He was fresh legs
And
then.
I started looking, I said, okay, I see the comparison. He had the jab, the movement, the speed. I said, okay. But I was still short. I didn't think about Floyd then. I was still on my Frazier shit.
I got you. Frazier's good to start off with. I ain't gonna lie.
So I got a question, like, as far as this belt in particular, how was the journey on the way to achieving this belt in particular? I believe that is is that the silver middleweight?
Yeah, WBC Silver Middleweight Championship. That belt, that journey to that belt it's speechless. It's almost speechless to a point. It's everything that I fought for my career to build up, because in the amateurs, I always try to be number one. I always try to get to the top, or at least be the top 4. I believe, in our tournaments, in the amateur tournaments, everybody got a belt when it came to the championship, so I couldn't get the belts. Like, we see belts like this, we like, oh, we gonna win this.
Right,
we getting there,
right.
but you got, like, a bracket. It might be 20 people in your weight class. At them times, I'm fighting 54, I'm fighting 48, 38 when I was like 13, 14 and moving up a weight class, but you got like 16, 18 people in your weight class. You're like, man, I'm still trying to win that belt, though. I don't care who it is. I got 5 days, got beat everybody 5 days, so I get that.
That's the drive, man.
Fighting them pro fights and getting up to that level where I was able to achieve a belt. When I knew a belt was on the line, everything else kind of just like, I zoned out, because I knew this is what I always wanted, and I wanted it on the pro level versus the amateur level. So once I got to the pro level, and I didn't care who it was, and the dude was number 2 in the world, I'm like, all right, I'm locking in. I don't care. It's October. I heard about the call. We got to fight about this dude for this belt. I don't care who it was. I ain't watch anything. I'm toned on that.
I'm knocking that.
Focus on, put all that energy to achieving that. And once I got that, I don't know if y'all got to see the video, but it made me tear up. It made me go down to the ground. Like, man, I finally did it.
Yeah.
Because I was able to show what I wanted to do to win for a belt on the biggest stage in front of everybody.
Facts,
I
man.
could
And
dig
that's,
that.
is there like a archive of do you keep an archive of your fights? You know what I mean?
No, I haven't been able to over the years. It's weird because the situation I was in, the people around me, and not having people like, let's just say like this, or close people that's able to film and keep my archive. I had other people that was supposed to be handling me, but usually PBC, I was with Premier Boxing Championship, and they got a lot of my fights from 2014 till now. I mean, till about 2019.
Facts.
2021. I fought on 2021. I fought on in Texas. So.
Okay.
Well, I do want to ask this, and I want to make sure that I'm right about this. Today your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
man.
Happy birthday, bro. They tell me today was your birthday, man.
I know,
Happy birthday, man.
When you asked me about after Frat, I said, shoot, that's dope. It's birthday too. So
Hey,
this history right
man.
here.
History right here got him on the birthday. You feel me?
Yeah.
Frat House Media. You got it.
You know?
What do the numbers 21, 2, and 3? No, 3 and 2 mean to you?
Oh man, 21, 3 and 2. Well, the 21 part is good.
Okay.
The 3 and 2, I'm just want to hopefully leave that like it is until I'm done. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I say, and another amazing thing that speaking on the birthday aspect, your next fight is literally the day before my birthday,
Oh,
November
really?
9th.
Oh man, see,
Yeah,
look.
it's
I gotta do what I do then.
It's
boy.
meant to be.
gotta throw a fight party.
Knock them out. Just be like, this for Frat. This all for the cut. This one for the Frat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, all
This one for the
right.
Frat.
Your next opponent goes by the name of, if I'm not mistaken, this is Vitaly Gubkin.
No, that was my last guy.
So I totally apologize. All right, so your last guy, tell me about the fight then. Tell me how do you feel about it?
With Gubkin?
Yes.
It was a good win. Good win against a guy who was durable, who he didn't have as much experience that I had, but he was a tough Russian. I never heard of him before. I didn't know he was out of Northern Virginia, but he came to fight. He had a little bit of strength in there, not too bad, but I was able to win unanimously and get back in the mix so I can get back and defend this next belt, WBC Facker Box. But Gubkin was cool, good little opponent. Me shaking back. I spent 3 to 4 years with the champs in Texas, in Houston with Jamal Charlo, Earl Spence, and
right.
Jamal Charlo. I helped them held 3 fights with Jamal. I held 1 fight with Earl and 3 with Jamel. And Jamel became the undisputed, the first fight to become undisputed. I helped him with that.
Hey.
I assisted with him in training for him to achieve that. And then Earl Spence beat Ugas after having that car accident. I assisted him with that comeback fight.
Got you. That car accident was crazy.
Jamal, when he fought Sergey Derenchenko during the COVID, I assisted him with that, and that was one of his best fights they said up to date.
In there, bro.
Real talk.
Bro,
Got his hands in the mix.
knee deep
Said,
in the
even
game.
outside of the ring, I got my hands deep into the game. You can't beat that. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your experience out in East Meadow, New York, or do you remember any of it?
Oh yeah, I was born in Queens. East Meadow was really just the hospital my mom got me born out of because she didn't want to go to Queens Hospital because at that time she understood. She was like, "Nah, we ain't going there with East Meadow." But being born in Queens, coming up, moved about 3 or 4, going down. A lot of my family is New York and Virginia. We're mixed all over the place. But I moved down probably when I was like 6. Came down there. I forgot where we first moved to. My dad was on his way to Georgia, but he got a job out in Virginia, and then that's where we stopped. And
Boom.
All right.
2000 we moved to Highland Park.
Which one of these belts I can take back to the frat house so I can pretend like I got, hey, look, ladies, you feel me? Look what I got. I had to sting some people up for them. Being at the weight of 160, was it any struggles on that size as far as entering into the game?
No, cause I started off at 167 my first fight. I dropped down to 160 during the next few fights and the rest of my career for a while. But 160 was my weight because I felt like, with Roy Jones being the middleweight, Sugar Ray Leonard being the middleweight, James Toney was a middleweight. I like the middleweight division.
Right.
And me being around there in the amateurs, I was 165 before I turned professional.
Right.
So 160. I never really was a 165 pounder. I just fought 165. So my skills carried over for the weight. So I kind of grew into 160 over the years. And even now, I realize like 60 is still my weight. So I go back down to where I'm at.
All right. Who are some of the major influences in your life on a personal scale when it came to boxing?
My brother. My brother's probably one of the best fighters I know. And just intellect, movement, speed. I don't watch this guy like hands-on just make people who was so good look so bad.
Whew.
And he just he didn't have the same fire that I had because we fought in the house, but he wasn't a person you just see on the street and want to fight.
Right.
My brother was really more reclusive. He was more to himself. He'll like to go in the house. He'll be on the computer. He fix things or whatever. But I'll be outside playing and stuff. Somebody have a problem, I'm fighting. He not the one that's out there doing anything.
When he come out and get you. It's like he done came out the lab. He get ready. You done made me come out the lab. I gotta put a good whooping on you. Type thing. I can dig that.
Well, yeah, him boxing and being goofy at the time, he wasn't really athletic in movement. But when he boxed, he just had. He was like, to me, like, I give this comparison to Forrest Gump and Michael Jackson. Because, when Forrest started running and he was all gumpy, and then as soon as he shit broke off, he just started. Yeah. That's how my brother was. He wasn't always like that with boxing. And once he started boxing, he just had this rhythm and style. And he looked up to Ali, but that wasn't who he mimicked.
Right.
But he had the same similarities of freedom of just being himself. And when he started doing that, he started fighting guys who had all this experience and making them look bad. They would criticize him, and they wouldn't, like, the judges were favor the other person for favoritism, or my brother scoring. He's like, it ain't like he getting pounded. He's hitting them 7, 8 times. He making them miss.
Right? Yeah, I seen a couple of.
And
his
as soon as the fights happen, or whatever, they give it to the other guy. And we always we didn't cry over it, but we were like, damn, y'all lost. People will boo about it, but we just we coming back.
Right,
we're coming back. So that's how our attitude was every time we lost or something. We coming back. We didn't really. We bickered probably for like them 5 or 10 minutes, but we never dwelled on it. Like, I bet we'll see us again. It's just like how we all in Highland Park. You go see it again.
Right. I'm gonna see you again, bro. It's all right.
Yeah.
So as far as preparation, man, so you got a fight coming up on the 9th. Mm-hmm. How do you prepare for something like this, man?
I'm different. I'm different because I feel like mentally I don't take it personal, but when it comes to fighting, I don't take it lightly.
Right.
So, you know, if somebody threaten you and feel like they're gonna fight you and your life could be on the stand, you have to channel your brain to be different to get into that aspect. Because some people take it as a play, or some people go in there, oh, I'm gonna just do this and that. I'm like, man, this one hit could take you out.
Yeah.
And I've seen people like Pritchard Cologne. I've seen him the day before he got hit in that fight, and he got paralyzed. Not paralyzed. He was in a coma. Right. And he had bleeding from the brain and everything. I was there at the weigh-in, seeing his family and everybody walk around, and seeing how jittery he was. He was his new prospect. And by the end of that fight, I think the hits in the back of the head, he collapsed in the corner, and they took him to the hospital, and he never been the same since. And he was able to be in a coma for like 8 months, I believe, or something like that, and he never was able to function the same and be that same fighter. So, knowing that to that degree, I don't take it lightly when I'm in the ring, because I always had that fighting anger anyway. So, So I just realized boxing, probably for me being a kid, Richmond probably got a lot of undiscovered champions too, because it was that anger. I had a bunch of anger that just transferred. So boxing was like, it's good that I found that, because I don't know what I'd do without that, because I'm able to unleash that in the sport. It's dangerous if I didn't have that outlet to be using that for. So when I get to a fight, it's like, okay, I got life on the line and I got anger, so now I got to channel this to beat this person that's trying to kill me. So
okay, so out of all your opponents, who hit the hardest? Which one of them ones where you, oh nah, I ain't know bro had this type of power?
Yeah.
If you think back,
it's weird because I have a weird sensory when it comes to power. Like, even with me getting caught, because I got knocked out one time by Centeno, and he wasn't the strongest guy. It's just that was a perfect timing. I had a whole bunch of stuff that happened bad before I got out there, and by the time he hit me, it was just like, all right, I was an off night, you got it. You know what I'm saying? But who's the strongest to me?
Or if we can go, even we would say best skilled.
Best skilled.
As a challenge.
I would give Keetroff, the one I won this belt with, because he was a warrior. He wasn't the strongest, but he was a warrior. Strongest guy. Nobody really hit me that made me feel like I had to back up.
Got you.
I've seen all my fights. I was in there. I was moving. Even when they hurt me or they hit me, I kept going forward. So, that little kid Vidal he had pretty good little strength though. When I fought in 2021, he was somebody, I was hitting him, but he made me had to really dig down a little bit. I'm like, okay, this boy taking this. He taking it. He throwing him back too, so I had to like, I was like, okay.
Can't just sleep on him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, tell me a little bit about Easy Breezy car detailing.
Oh man, that's my detailing business.
Okay.
Got created in 2021. It was a venture for my girlfriend, Shantina. She just seen something that showed me a video, and she's like, I could see you doing stuff like this, and she was on point. And when I looked at it, I said, I wouldn't mind, you know what I'm saying, detail. I like cars, like seeing stuff clean and stuff like that. I'm really like a person to put my mind into, like, if I had to do something, I don't know what it is, but I really focus into little tedious things. So that became something, and then I started to make a company out of that and try to make, passive income as well. And not even just passive income, but just another venture outside of boxing. So seeing that and be able to make that into a company and everything was dope. Easy Breezy came from my dog, man. That's my dog, Eli.
Okay.
He inspired me with the name Easy Breezy Detailing.
All right. And look, detail definitely is something that you got to stay on top on when it comes to boxing, too. Yeah. You got to pay attention to other people's techniques to be able to, are you studying boxers prior? Like, before you go to them, do you actually see a fighting style or...
I've been around a lot. I used to study a lot when I was a kid. I still observe some guys, but my team kind of do the rest. Once they show me and tell me where we're going, but I might take a look. I'm like, all right, I see what y'all talking about. Okay. It's more like a reference thing versus me just really studying.
Gotcha.
Unless they tell me, like, look out for this person's this and look at his hook. I'm like, all right. And then I'll study that.
Out of these three, which one the hardest to earn?
That one.
That one. That's why it's right there.
Right
in the center. Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
I can dig it. All right. For the detailing, are there any things that came from boxing that translated to entrepreneurship that you felt?
100%. I think a lot of it from boxing came into detailing because I tried to take my boxing career and use that for detailing, like all the technical aspects of cleaning and everything. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna break this down. But like you saying, study. I'm gonna study this car. I'm gonna look at what the problem is, and I'm gonna execute and have a game plan for it. So I use all my strategies and skill sets that I take in boxing and bring into my detailing business, so I can get a knockout clean.
Okay. who is your desired opponent?
The fight?
Yeah, to fight. The dream. When I can't wait till I see him. Oh my God. That type thing.
Right now, because I wanted to fight Triple G when Triple G was there, because Triple G was running everything.
Right.
But now he's faded away. You got Canelo up there. Canelo would be a great fight. He's really not saying he's not the inspiration for me, because I know I had to get to a certain level to get to the Canelo fight. Not saying 2 or 3 wins, I can't be the one selected.
Right.
If that's selected, then all the bullshit out the window. I got to go fight this dude.
Right.
But I would say right now it would be Caleb Plant.
Okay.
Caleb Plant, because me and him have history from 2016, and he said a lot of things about me that was untrue, and I still hold it. You know,
I can't wait to see it. Oh, that's the guy.
He might have thought I forgot about it, but I remember a lot, and then I don't hold that against, you know what I'm saying, or let that slide, you know. So I got to get that back when the time is right.
Right. He said, I got to get my lick back, and ain't no amount of time to get that lick back,
he tried
too.
to talk and say I was ducking and this and that and management and everything. So I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, and nothing came across my table of me knowing what was going on, but that's me in the business, or my management at the time wasn't discussing a lot of things with me, and it made a different light for him looking at me a certain way and saying I wasn't skilled, because he had an article in 2016 on Fight Hype saying that you know, me and Aleem, I want to fight next in November. I want to fight Aleem because he beat a guy named Carlos Galvin that I fought and had a decision with, and he knocked the guy out in 2 rounds. But
so he felt like he was doing something. He did something special.
But he struggled with somebody that I knocked out in 2 rounds. So it was like we both had the same similar opponent, but he said I want to fight Aleem. I feel like we're both undefeated on paper, but we're not both evenly skilled. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, you know, I'm a fighter, but at that time, I don't know what my manager was doing at the time. Because he was on Instagram. Instagram was very fresh at the time. It was like 2014 or 2015, around that time, and he was speaking on there saying, you know, about 2 fights down the line, and you're talking about this. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you could be my next opponent. Next fight, I fight DeMar Nicholson, so I don't know what was going on. It could have been him. It could have been whatever, because I wasn't ducking no smoke. So he's a champion. Oh, he became a world champion. He fought against Canelo, so, you know, hats off to him. But I'm just like, you got to see me. Don't put them words, man. I ain't letting that go.
Got a question.
Yeah.
So like in the fight against in the fight against Korobov, is that, did I pronounce it right?
Yeah, Korobov.
They say they say they went back and said that it was they filed a petition saying that it was messed up officiating, like in that match. Is that real? It says filing a protest over results from the Immanuel Aleem fight.
Yeah, they was on some BS. They was upset because that fight was like the business side of the boxing part. Like I had to fight against all the politics of it. So he fought Jamal Charlo before fighting me. And I don't know if y'all knew Jamel Charlo when he fought Tony Harrison. He had took a loss, and Jamal had fought next, and then he had fought Korobov. And he was getting hit a little bit, and they thought he was beating him. But when I watched Korobov, when I watched that fight, Jamal was winning. I don't know what they was thinking about, but they felt like because he was teeing off on Jamal a few rounds, that he was beating him a little bit, so they probably want a return fight. I was the next fight after that, so they felt like he's going to be the win over me. He's going to get back with Jamal. But he didn't do what he did with Jamal against me. And then one of the judges towards the end, it's crazy, but one of the referees or the judges I seen had a fight randomly, and he was like, hey, you know, I scored for you during that last round, and during that fight, it took like I would say about 7 and 10 minutes before the decision. Because first they tried to announce it as a split decision loss, but they came back and said it was a draw. Because the guy said that he scored the 10 for me, but somebody erased it and put 10-10. And he said, no, the 10 was for Aleem, so they was disputing that.
Right.
And that's what made the draw happen. So they was trying to do some fuck shit towards me.
It says Samson Lukaszwick of Samson's Boxing says Korobov is at the very least a victim of incompetent officiating after what seems like a clear decision win for Korobov. Clear decision win.
It wasn't clear. Nobody says that fight was clear. Samson's the same one I was supposed to fight my next guy on November 9th. Same fighter.
Well,
Full circle. It's gonna be full circle.
Yeah, Sanson fought against me a couple times, man.
What does the name Elmacar Vidal mean to you? And I might be pronouncing that wrong.
That's a Samson guy too.
Oh, wow.
That's his get back. I feel like off the politics. See, I don't want to throw salt on boxing to make it feel like people be doing this to fighters, but it's clear as day if you look at it. Same promoter, same fighter, same law, same problem. So if that Vidal that you just read links back to what he did against if that Korbov links back to the Vidal stuff, and that Samson the same promoter, what does that look like? A get back, does it?
It's inside
They
job.
said I didn't lose against Vidal.
Right, conspiracy.
Whole time.
What are some things you would like to tell the younger generation who would love to become a boxer in the future?
I would say stick to the fundamentals, master the fundamentals, go into your craft, be consistent. Boxing is going to be a journey, and when I mean a journey, it's not just going in the gym, training, and sparring, and doing that. The journey is the path to becoming something within yourself in the career, and just keep a good team around you and focus on and have a plan. Have a plan before you jump in there, because when I came in, boxing was a poor man's sport, where not even when I came in, it was labeled like a poor man's sport, where people back in the days used to fight for chump change and stuff like that. So there's a lot of old people who was younger them days who took over that, and they still look at boxers like that. So they young boxers coming in here with that old mentality of being a poor man. They put them in these positions not knowing that they fighting without knowing how to get here or get there. So already have a plan, have a structure, have a team, have people already there with that. Because if you just come in here freelancer, you're gonna be tossed to the wolves to anybody. So I say be diligent on your P's and Q's when you come in here.
Yeah, and you had a lot of as far as that's concerned, like you come from is it a boxing family, man? Because I done seen all your peoples out there with you supporting. Like,
I mean, we a fighting family. Everybody fought. My mom, raised in New York by herself, had two brothers. You know, your mom, her mother was on drugs, and she died. I forgot what age, but my mom was on 16 on her own with two brothers and living with her grandmother. So she was already being the tough person, being able to fight the guys and this and that. Then my dad being in the military in Jamaica and stuff like that, he already had a tough background from Jamaica. And my sisters being fighters, my uncles and everybody. So I think we come from a fighting family, but boxing just like glued everything.
Right.
It was the glue. Once we boxed, like, oh shoot,
Now we're doing it in an organized way, but we've been throwing them hands.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tell me about, give me a couple of key words about Jeter Promotions.
Jeter Promotions, they're a good, how would I say, they're a good company out of Maryland that's competing with everybody from other DC and everything. They're establishing good consistency when it comes to building fighters and making sure to give them the platform to make them grow and everything, because no other promoter in that area is really putting on the longevity they have. I used to train with Tony Jeter in that gym for 8 years when I had the manager / trainer George Peterson. He was in his gym using his facility to train, so he was always promoting then. So I seen his consistency of just putting on fights over the time. So he's been doing a good job on that.
Okay. All right. Have you gotten to meet any of the dream boxers to you? The ones that you, I ain't gonna say aspire to be, because at the end of the day, you're aspiring to be the top version of you. You know. But obviously Smoking Joe is out of the picture. But
I got to talk to Joe Frazier.
Whoa. Okay.
When I was 13. 13, I fought at the state regionals here. It was at what's that place where they have U-Turn.
Yeah, okay, I have heard of
it. It was at U-Turn years ago in 2007. I won my first state regionals, and a guy called and said, "Hey, there's a guy fight just like you, Joe." Because I used to be spar. I used to be just like that. And he put him on the phone, and he was drunk. He sounded drunk. I ain't gonna say I don't want to accusation. They say he was a drinker, but to me, as a kid, I'm hearing this guy. He's like, "Yo, I heard you fight like me." So it was cool to hear that at that time. It was this team called the Untouchables out of Philadelphia, and they passed the phone and let them know like this little kid fight like you and stuff like that. Got to speak to him for like 5 minutes. So that was dope. At them times, Joe Frazier, got to speak to him. I saw, Earl Spence and the Charlos and Roy Jones. I got to meet him. I saw him again when I was in Vegas. I got to see Canelo out there. Meet Floyd. I've been able to see a lot of my stars. Chris Brown's out there too. Got to meet him for a second to flick it
Shout
up.
out BA.
Yeah.
The name The Chosen One. How did it come about?
My father named me Immanuel Aleem. He's Mustafa was chosen, and that's the name that I kind of just gravitated to as I was fighting, because I was just myself, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna just own up to that, because he called me chosen one, and Mustafa me is chosen, so now I'm the chosen one.
I could dig it. Well, what is the, I know this is going to sound super vague. What is it like to have your hands registered? To have official weapons? These right here are, I could, if I get to you, it's
you got straight bones, bro. Those just like hurt.
They would, but not like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't getting paid for these or something, but you get to have your hands registered, man. That's a crazy thing to say. Like,
yeah, I feel like the best thing for me is when I wrap my hands, man. I mean, to know that I can fight with these and hurt people, but once I wrap my hands preparing for a fight.
We back. All right. Chosen one, hometown hero. This is Frat House Media episode number 5, The Fever. Hometown hero. Well, we probably gonna change the name to Chosen One, man. Just because at the end of the day, it solidifies, it stamps exactly. When you hear that name, we don't even have to say the government name at that point. You know what you already know. You already know what's going on. All right, my brother. I do want to ask you this. What, if there's any more belts to earn, what's the next one?
It's the gold, because this was the silver.
Okay.
So that was the second to the gold, but trying to get the gold and get either middleweight or super middleweight. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole. I'm in 2 divisions in a way. I'm 40 at 60 and I'm 40 at 68 right now, but I could really toggle through both. So I want to get the gold. That solidifies, because I feel like I've achieved a lot coming up, but I feel like I gotta end it off with the top. I gotta go for it all and bring that back to Richmond, because there hasn't been a Richmond fighter to achieve a world championship. Since I'm there, I'm in the striking distance. Gotta go all the way.
So you going for a gold in middle or super middle?
Shoot, probably both.
Both. They knock them out.
Who said we can't get both?
I just said we stop it. Yeah. All right. Little birdie on the street told me we used to make some music. We are in the media world, but we also make music. So tell me a little bit about your musical history.
I feel like the music, like, for me, is really the heart of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my soul. Music has been there since, I can't remember. My mom used to rap. My mom rapped back in the Queen Latifah days, when all the MCs and stuff was coming up.
She from Queens too, one of you said?
She from
where? Bronx?
She's from Glen Cove.
Glen Cove?
That's like Westbury, New York.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So she out of Glen Cove, and she used to spit. My uncle spit, and it was like, you know, MCs and stuff like that. And my dad did music too out of Jamaica, so he had a pure sound, like how Bob Marley was.
Right.
His voice is cut through the record, so I used to always like that voice used to sound real good. And he didn't have that, like, on traditional sound like everybody else would rap. He could sing. He was singing. He was randomly. He could sing about anything. Like, randomly, he could sing about the room and just sounded so good and pure. And it was like, damn. So I was around music a lot, and I always gravitated to, like, writing and stuff like that. But when I heard Nas, because my sister was a big fan of Nas, that became my favorite rapper.
I was just going to ask you, when you put those headphones on, are you ready to spar up or whatever the situation? Who you listening to in the beats, man?
50 Cent.
50 Cent. Okay.
What song from 50? What song from 50?
It depends, because Give It Should I Try album is dope.
Oh, yeah.
And Massacre, but I like the movie tracks too, the soundtracks off Give Richard Not Trying. That's not on the album.
Like that, because I hustle.
Oh, yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, on the music end, like, I used to always be around, walk with a headset before boxing. Like, I was always with a CD player. You know, you had CD player back then.
Your MP3.
Good thing my dad used to be at the thrift stores and stuff, so I used to always be able to get all the stuff, regardless if it was brand new or not. I'll get an MP3, I'll get a CD player, I'll get a tape deck, I'll get something, so I was always able to have music all the time. I'll get new headphones, I'll find anything, and I'll just be walking around listening to music. So when I heard Nas, it was like, damn, his storytelling was like, that's how I wanted to tell my story of myself. So that gravitated to me to start writing a lot more, and then listening to everybody, different artists and stuff like that. So that's when the music, my soul just started to be like, boxing and my rap life is almost 2 different worlds, because because that's my everyday, day to day. Like boxing is 2 hours. 2.5 hours, 2 to 3 hours, but after that goes out, I gotta go home. I tell people like, this is Highland Park, this is Richmond. There's so much stuff to talk about in Richmond because you walk down the block, it ain't just boxing.
It's super boxing.
Boxing is the least thing you thinking about when you walking out, go try to,
Especially in Highland area.
yeah, just trying to get to your doorstep, just trying to walk your block. You know what I'm saying? You see 15, 20 people down here. You see all the action going. You don't see cops. You don't see things going on. All you see is massacres. Massacres and stuff going
Shout out
on.
57. So you will never see yourself tune it up to yourself?
Yeah, I do that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I do that time.
What's a track that I can go find of Immanuel Aleem that I could, if I wanted to get out there, I feel like I'm getting ready to run up them steps like Rocky?
I still got stuff that's in the cave, man. I haven't really been able to put my stuff out. I got a few things on YouTube that I done like 12 years ago, but I never had like the professional recording and stuff like that. It's stuff I just threw out, so I just have a catalog and stuff.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. And if you ever decide you're looking for professional recording, I gotta plug myself in Frat House Media. I plug the team, man. We make sure that we you know what I'm saying, we get you squared away from the top to the bottom, whether it be videography, drone work, or whatever. You know, we'll get back to that towards the end. More about the Chosen One. We're gonna take a short break. Don't hate, celebrate. It's the man's birthday, man. Of course it's cause for a celebration. Yeah, Frat House Media, my boy T. Coles. And we got the Chosen One, Immanuel Aleem running through the building. You know what I'm saying? You see all 3 of these. You know what I'm saying?